okuva olunaku lwajjo saawa nga 6 ez'ekiro twasizaawo eggye ly'eggwanga erya UPDF eririna obumanyirivu obukugu n'ebyokukozesa ebimala ate eby'omulembe okukuuma ebifo byaffe eby'enkizo ng'amasannyalaze, ebitundu byaffe ebibeeramu amafuta n'ebirala. Ntandikidde wakati ekyo nkiddamu. Oluvannyuma lw'okukwatibwa akulembera ekibiina kya NUP n'okufuna amawulire agalaga nti mulimu abantu abagezaako okutabangula eggwanga, eggye lya UPDF lya deployinze oba lyatadde amagye mu ggwanga mu bitundu ebitali bimu naddala Kampala eyawamu nga mwe muli Wakiso, Mukono ne Kampala n'ebitundu ebigyetoolodde. Eggye lya UPDF litegeseeko oba liteeseeko ebikwekweto eby'enjawulo okulemesa n'okukwata abo bonna abeenyigidde ate n'okusattulula entegeka zaabwe ez'okuteekako obutali embeera etali ya mirembe. UPDF eri wamu mu kunyoolwa n'abo bonna abaafiiriddwa abantu baabwe mu buvuyo buno ate obwandibadde oba bwe twandibadde tusobola okumalawo nga ffenna tukoleragamu wamu nga bannayuganda. Tugenda kuteeka amagye g'eggwanga lyonna naago gatuyambako ge tuyita ba auxiliary nga na LDU mweri okulaba nti tukoleragana wamu okuggyawo embeera eno n'okukwata abo bonna abagyenyigiddemu. Era poliisi nga bw'enaatutegeeza abalala abamu oba n'obuguruupu obwo bwakwatiddwa dda n'abalala ndowooza bajja kukwatibwa nga bwe tugenda mu maaso kutereeza embeera. Nga tukolera wamu n'ebitongole ebyokwerinda ebirala, tujja kusalako oba kuba ku nguudo zonna eziyingira ekibuga n'ezifuluma okulaba nti tetuweereza kakisa abantu bano okuyingira ekibuga kyaffe n'okutabangula bizinesi n'enkola eya bulijjo. Twafunye amawulire agamala era ne tuteekako amagye gaffe n'ebyuma byaffe ebirala ebituweereza amawulire aga buli kika okulaba nti obutabangufu mu ggwanga tebubeerawo, era tusuubiza bannayuganda kino tugenda kikola na bukugu okulaba nti eggwanga lyaffe lisigala mu mirembe. Tubuulira bannayuganda nti okuva n'olunaku olwajja ekiro tugenda kuweereza sapooti emala eggye lya poliisi okulaba nti curfew time tugitaddemu amaanyi. Bano abapulaninga ekiro nga obudde bwa kafu buweddewo tusobole obbakwata. N'olwekyo omuntu wa bulijjo abeere waka mu budde nga curfew tennaba kutuuka. Eyanzizza neyanze. Swahili atakuwa tutafanya pamoja. Swahili we can do one on one.
Thank you very much, and a very good afternoon to you all. We have a statement from the Uganda Police Force, which is coming out with a number of fatalities and casualties, together with the number of persons arrested in the violent political and criminal protests that have been taking place in the last 2 days. So we'd like to start by informing the public that a total of 28 people have died following the violent political and criminal demonstrations in multiple areas since the 18th of November 2020. The confrontations began after the arrest of Honorable Kyagulanyi Ssentamu Robert at Luka Saza grounds in Luka district due to his continued blatant disregard of the Electoral Commission guidelines, which were further escalated after bloggers posted fake news that he had been killed in Busoga. The Noob cell at Kiseka Market began the protests with the burning of tires, and the protests spread to some other areas. All indicators reveal that these events were not just impromptu actions, but part of a loosely coordinated campaign by the political group all along in the areas of Central Region, Kampala Metropolitan, which includes Kawempe, Rubaga, Makindye, Nakawa, Kira Municipality, and Wakiso, the Greater Masaka area, Busoga, and Elgon. Out of these protests, a total of 577 suspects were arrested, some of whom appeared in court yesterday on the 19th of November this year, while others are expected to appear today, including the Honorable Kyagulanyi Ssentamu Robert. Most of the arrests involved suspects from the Kampala metropolitan area, like we indicated, where the Noob cells were mostly created, followed by Masaka, Mitiana, while the remaining group of suspects were from Busoga and Mbale, respectively. Several exhibits, including bows and arrows, piles of stocked tires, bottles, drums of fuel, and evidence of mobile money transactions funding the rioters were recovered. The violent demonstrators were being coordinated by a group of 300 ringleaders who were actively coordinating the distribution of tires to their flashpoints and hotspots using motor vehicles and border borders. Now, some of the ringleaders have been arrested, and we are still seeking other ringleaders. Notably amongst them are the following: Malingolingo Nkedi, who is contesting for councillorship in Nansana Municipality; Machete Ashraf, who is the commander, Freedom Border Borders, and are about 50 in number; Nusfan Nakato, a candidate for councillorship at KCCA; Kulia Soul, a KCCA councillor for Kawempe North; Rhoda Arias Mama Kampala, who is a mobilizer for Noob cells in Waise and Chebando; Bagonza Thomas, the Noob candidate for councillor seat Waise 2 in Kawempe; and Matthias Warukaga, who has been actively mobilizing in Busoga region. We have other ringleaders who were captured on CCTV cameras and other videos uploaded on social media and widely circulated. Therefore, what we have seen in the last 2 days, that is the violence, vandalism, looting, intimidation, and threats, are crimes that were being committed targeting people who are not pro-Noob and also against people's property. Now, this is something that we cannot tolerate as the Joint Task Forces. As you all know, the Joint Task Force respects freedom of assembly and people's democratic rights, but will not allow for violent demonstrators and criminal opportunists to disrupt the peaceful environment we've had over the years. We have stepped up presence of our security personnel and minimized the use of tear gas, which is indiscriminate in nature, and we've resorted to the use of batons, which are non-lethal and more specific. The task team of the investigators continues to pursue investigative leads and also monitor online hate speech related to the violent political and criminal demonstrations. Therefore, those who continue to encourage rioting and threaten individuals on account of their tribes and beliefs across Facebook posts, Twitter, Instagram, and WhatsApp will be attended to by our cybercrime teams. It is clear that the organized attacks were aided by social media to sow discord of hatred in society and further instigated by ringleaders, which fitted the pattern of some of the NUP leaders all along and supporters wanting chaos. They were burning tires, which we also, setting illegal roadblocks, using Molotov cocktails, that is petrol bombs, nailed tire cutters, targeting security vehicles, they damaged CCTV cameras and street signs, they damaged tarmac roads, they attacked officers with hammers and stones, they used pangas, they conspired to destroy government and private installations, including petrol stations and umeme installations. Some used the protests as an opportunity for looting motorists across the suburbs of Kampala, smashing windows and stealing items from cars and shops. The riots have had collateral damages, which include 28 civilian casualties, 11 injuries of security personnel, 11 motor vehicles that were damaged, 2 police vehicles were damaged, 2 government vehicles were damaged. We also managed to impound 12 motor vehicles that were suspected to be carrying materials of fueling the riots. We also have ambulances that were being used to carry rioters under the guise of sick persons. Going forward, we will continue to work with all partners to enforce laws prohibiting acts of violence. The Joint Task Force is committed to ensuring that all Ugandans freely exercise their constitutional rights in a safe, peaceful, and lawful manner. Therefore, we would like to warn all those that are already drawn into the violent protests and those that are intending to join to reject such calls and remain law-abiding. We shall prevail for God and my country. Let's hurry up. We go to Uganda, and then the minister will come. And mwebale nnyo, tuvuddeyo olwaleero ne statement eraga ebyakavaamu bikolwa eby'effujjo ebibaddewo ennaku 2 emabega, era twagala okutegeeza bannayuganda bonna nti abantu 28 be baakafa ng'okufa kuno kwetooloolera ku bikolwa eby'okwekalakaasa ebadde byetooloolera ku by'obufuzi n'effujjo erizze likolebwa okuva ng'ennaku z'omwezi 18 omwezi guno. Obutabanguko buno obubaddewo bwatandika oluvannyuma lw'okukwatibwa kwa Honorable Kyagulanyi Ssentamu Robert ku kisaawe eky'essaza Eluka mu disitulikiti y'Eluka, oluvannyuma lw'okuvvoola n'obutagoberera biragiro by'ekitongole ekya Electoral Commission mu ggwanga, era okwekalakaasa kuno abayongera okukumamu omuliro ogw'amaanyi beebo ba bloga abasobola okufulumya amawulire amafuukuule nga balaga nti Honorable Kyagulanyi yali attiddwa mu bitundu eby'ebusoga. Era gano amawulire amafuukuule bwe kwaviira akabondo k'aba NUP akali mu kitundu ekya Kisekka, abaatandika okwokya ebipiira n'okwekalakaasa, era mu bwangu ddala okwekalakaasa ne kwetooloola ebitundu ebyetoolodde Kampala n'emiriraano. Obubonero bwonna bulaga nti ebikolwa bino eby'okwekalakaasa tebyaguddewo bugwi, naye nga lwali lukwe lupange okumala ebbanga ddene wansi w'ekibiina kino ekya NUP, era nga babadde balina obubondo mu bitundu bya Central mu Buganda n'ekitundu kya Kampala Metropolitan omuli Kawempe, Rubaga, Makindye, Nakawa, Kira Municipality, Wakiso, ekitundu ekya Greater Masaka, Busoga n'ekitundu ekya Elgon mu Mbale. Abantu 577 be baakakwatibwa mu bikolwa bino eby'effujjo. Abamu ku bo baatwaliddwa mu kkooti olunaku lw'eggulo bya Busoga n'Embale. Ebizibiti bizze bikwatibwa omuli obusaale. Twasobodde okuzuula ebipiirapiira ebiwerako, amacupa, ebidomola by'amafuta. Tusobodde n'okulondoola ssente nga bwe zibadde zitambula ku mobile money eri abeekalakaasi bano oba abakulira obubondo buno. Okwekalakaasa kuno kubadde kukulembeddwamu abakulembera obubondo abawerera ddala 300,000 nga bano bebadde beenyigidde mu kutambuza ebipiirapiira mu nfoofofo ezeetoolodde Kampala n'emiriraano, Masaka, Ntyana n'ebirala, olwedde bye baali bamaze okutongoza nga bakozesa emmotoka ne boda. Abamu ku bakulira obubondo buno ebisatu baakwatiddwa, naye nga waliwo n'abalala be tukyali mu kulondoola, era nga mu abo be tulondoola ab'amaanyi mulimu omwami gwe bayita Malingolingo Nkedi. Ono yadde yeesimbyeyo ku bwa kansala mu Nansana Municipality. Machete Ashraf, ono yakulira akabondo ka NUP aka Freedom Border Borders, bawerera ddala 50 n'okweyongerayo. Omukyala Nusfak Nakato, ono candidate ku bwa kansala mu KCCA. Kulya Saul, kansala wa KCCA e Kawempe North. Omukyala gwe bayita Roda, bangi gwe bamanyi nga Maama Kampala, ono nga yakulira obubondo bwa NUP mu bitundu by'e Bwayise n'Ekyebando. Bagonza Thomas, ono NUP candidate ku bwa kansala e Bwayise 2, ne Mathias Walukagga, ono nga y'omu ku beenyigidde mu kukola mobilization mu bitundu by'e Busoga. Tulina ne ba ring leaders oba abakulira obubondo abalala TV n'obutambi obulala obungi bwe bazze nga bakasuka ku mitimbagano. N'olw'ensonga eyo bye tuzze tulaba mu nnaku zino ebbiri omuli ebikolwa eby'effujjo okunya obuzze bukolebwa ku bantu abateesigamye oba batawagira kibiina kya NUP n'okwonoona ebintu byabwe. Ekintu kino tekigenda kukkirizibwa gye bugenda mu maaso. Nga bwe mumanyi akabondo k'abanna security kateeka ekitiibwa mu ddembe ly'Abannayuganda ery'obwebwange n'okulaba nga beenyigira mu by'okulonda. naye tetugenda kukkiriza bakozi b'effujjo n'abeekalakaasi okutaataaganya eddembe eribaddewo mu ggwanga lyaffe Uganda okumala ebbanga lino lyonna. So twongeddemu amaanyi mu nnyimirira yaffe nga bannasecurity. Bakomanda twabasabye bakendeeze okukozesa omukka ogubalagala, essira balikozese mu kukozesa batuuni, kuba batuuni ekuyamba okutuuka kwabo kinnoomu abeenyigidde mu kukola fujjo, kubanga omukka ogubalagala gubadde gutwaliramu n'abantu bangi abateenyigidde mu bikolwa bino eby'effujjo. Akabondo akakola okunoonyereza wansi wa CID keeyongera n'okunoonya obujulizi n'okwetegereza ebitambulira ku mitimbagano gya intaneti, social media, WhatsApp nga bireeta obukyayi wakati wa bannayuganda. N'olw'ensonga eyo, abo bonna obwakabira ku mitimbagano gya Facebook, Twitter, Instagram ne WhatsApp, akabondo kaffe ak'abakugu mu byuma bikalimagezi kali mu kubalondoola. Kirabika mu lwatu nti ebikolwa bino eby'effujjo byasingibwa kukumibwamu muliro nga abantu bayitira ku social media okusiga ensigo ez'obukyayi mu bannayuganda, ate effujjo lino ne ligaziizibwa abakulira obubondo buno 300. Baali bookya emipiira, batonzewo road block, bakozesezza bubomu obw'amacupa obwa petroli, ne batondawo emisumaali gye batega n'emmotoka eza security, boonoonye kamera ku makubo ag'enjawulo, boonoonye kolansi, balumbye abapoliisi ne banna security n'ennyondo, amayinja n'amajambiya, ne beeyongera okwonoona ebintu bya gavumenti n'ebyobwabannannyini muli petrol station ez'amafuta. Abalala bakozesa okwekalakaasa kuno okwegwanyiza okubba n'okutigomya bannannyini mmotoka ez'obwannannyini, ne baasa endabirwamu zaabwe ne bababba n'okubabba. Okutwaliza awamu okwekalakaasa kwaviiriddeko abantu 28 okufa, bannasecurity 11 balina ebisago bingi, bawera ennemba n'ebisago. Emmotoka 11 zaayonoonebwa, eza poliisi 2, eza gavumenti endala 2, tulina n'emmotoka 12 ezaakwatiddwa nga zikukusa emipiira, ebidomola by'amafuta. Alabadde akozesa ambulensi okukukusa abeekalakaasi. Nga tweyongerayo mu maaso ne bannaffe, tugenda kweyongerayo mu maaso n'abo bannasecurity abalala okulaba nga tulwanyisa ebikolwa bino eby'effujjo. Nga bannasecurity tuli beeteefuteefu okulaba nti bannayuganda beenyigira mu kulonda kuno wakati w'eddembe n'embeera entebenkevu awatali kutiisibwatiisibwa. Era twagala okusembyayo nga tuwabula abo bonna be baasikiriza mu kwenyigira mu bikolwa bino eby'effujjo n'abo be bakyagezaako okusikiriza nti baleme okwenyigira mu bino ebikolwa eby'effujjo, basigale nga bagoberera amateeka. Mwebale nnyo, mwebalire ddala.
Honourable Elly Tumwine, you are welcome to address the media. And then we'll take your questions after that.
Good afternoon. First of all, you have heard the statements from the UPDF and from the police. You have heard the figures, and you have heard the data. I would like to start by saying that all those, our viewers, wherever you are, tell your neighbor that peace be with you. Peace be with you wherever you are. And I want you to find out whether you are safe. Whether you are safe with your neighbor. I want to find out and ask yourself, why are you feeling safe where you are? You are feeling safe wherever you are because there are security forces who are spending day and night to protect you, safeguard you, to assure you that you are at peace wherever you are. Now, a country is like a family. If you are in a family and one of the members decides to disrupt or become disobedient or indisciplined, and when the responsible people are trying to caution him or her, and his friends run outside the house, well, to be able to get my voice out, since you are at least at a distance, I can remove my mask. As much as I don't trust your microphone. I was saying, if one of the members of the family is disobedient, and when he's being cautioned, his friends or her friends run out, get stones and start throwing stones at the windows of the house. What happens? The only choice you have is foreign security to reinforce you and establish order. So I want you to have that picture, that a country is like a family at a small level. Now, what has been happening in the last 2 days is a very good example. And I want to start by congratulating our security forces and all the patriotic Ugandans who have played their role in re-establishing stability in Kampala and in the other areas where peace was disrupted. Now, the unfortunate incidents that have resulted in 2 deaths and injuries of our citizens are very unfortunate and regrettable, and we sympathize with all those who have been affected, both the civilians, the security forces, and all the families whose people have been affected. But I want to say that that's what happens when the situation becomes violent. That's what goes with violence. The moment you create violence, it leads to death, it leads to injury, it could lead to permanent incapacitation, and it disrupts the society. Now, I would like to explain that the Constitution provides that in the enjoyment of your rights, do not infringe on the rights of others. I repeat, in the enjoyment of your rights, do not infringe in the rights of others. While you are enjoying your democratic freedom, while you are enjoying your political freedom, while you are enjoying your media and press freedom, do not infringe on the rights of others. If you are using the social media, if you are using the radios, if you are using the TVs, if you are using the press, any leader anywhere should take care of the interests of the public. In this situation of COVID, whatever you are doing, be mindful of the lives of others. Now, whatever you want to do, even if it is farming, even if it is trading as a business person, even if you want to do politics, even if you want to do justice, you cannot do it in chaos. You can only do it when there is security. That is number one for anything you want to do. Now, those who are inciting and advocating for violence, I want to assure you that it will catch up with you, because you reap what you sow. I repeat, if you sow and incite violence and advocate for violence, you will reap violence against you. You will reap what you sow. Now, from what happened in the last 2 days, all evidence show that this was a premeditated, a pre-planned, an organized plan for violence. Because these were deliberate plans for destabilization. And that's why they were quickly executed in a very short time and in all places in the same pattern. The tires were available, the burning of destroying the roads was in the same manner, the stopping of people and starting to, all the practice was pre-planned and premeditated for destabilization. Now, when hooliganism, chaos, violence and criminality takes place, all the rights which we normally enjoy, all the freedoms we are supposed to enjoy, are taken away from all, not particular people. Once violence starts, it does not even separate which party, it does not separate which category of people you are, it affects everyone. And therefore, there should be no justification, there should be no justification for any type of criminality by saying, oh, it was because of this or because of that. No. Nobody should justify for people to commit crime. And I again want to thank and tell patriotic Uganda that it is the duty of every citizen. It is the duty of every citizen to ensure security, and more specifically, the security forces who have not only a duty but are the ones given the constitutional responsibility to enforce the guidelines and the law. Now, the arrest of one person cannot justify what has caused death, what has caused injury, what has caused disruption, what has caused confusion, and stopping the people to enjoy their peace they were enjoying. There is no justification, because there are procedures. Anybody, and here I would like to really address the young people. I would like to alert the young people in particular to repeat that, as I always tell you, that the future belongs to the organized and disciplined. Those two words. The future belongs to the organized and disciplined. It does not belong to the violent and criminals. It doesn't. Now, the last 2 days, violent criminal protests cannot be justified because arrest of any citizen is part and parcel of management of society. Arrests are normal. Many people have been arrested. The presidential candidates, the members of parliament, religious leaders, all very respectable people, the judiciary, and all those who should get the respect, who have and should get the respect of the people, are not immune to arrest the moment they break the law or commit a crime. Nobody has immunity from arrest. The moment any one of them behaves as a criminal or breaks the law, he or she is treated, suspected as a criminal and treated as such. If you behave as a criminal, you will be treated as a criminal. I repeat, if you behave as a criminal, you will be treated as a criminal. And this is at all times. Now we have even a worse situation of COVID. And during this period of elections, if arrest of one of these very respected individuals was to attract violent protests, then it will be daily, because you have been seeing some of these respected people, like recently some pastors were arrested. So would it have been good for his church to protest and burn tires and break the church or break the roads for others? Not at all. So let that message be known, that the moment you bring yourself to be suspected, you are subject for arrest. And as I have said, this is not the first time in Uganda or anywhere in the world that a presidential candidate has been arrested. No, they have been arrested before, and they will be arrested if they violate the laws in the future. There are legal provisions of arrest and their procedures. The best way to avoid being in the hands of security and arrest is avoid criminality. The moment you put yourself in the situation, then be ready for what goes with that situation. If you are a boxer and you go in the ring and they hit you hard, do you complain? Now, you are seeing young people taking themselves against security forces, throwing stones at security forces, burning the city, and taking their lives, putting their lives at a very great risk. That is taking yourself in a situation that is very, very dangerous to your life. I would like to appeal to everyone that let no one mislead you into such a situation. We are aware that some people have been not only advocating, inciting, but they have even been training. They have been training and misleading young people to go, and that they were training them how to attack police. Imagine that you are being trained on how to attack police. Whoever is training you like that is putting you in great, great, great danger. Get out of that. Now, if you plan and prepare and you get tires and you put them on the road, block the public from enjoying their freedom to do their usual work, you burn the roads, you beat and undress people, you burn their clothes into the fire, you throw stones at security forces, and you vandalize and loot, I want to assure you that you are putting not only your individual life at risk, but the lives of so many people, like were affected these 2 days. The peace-loving patriots of Uganda, by the way, who are the majority? I heard somebody say that for them they are more than the police. No! The police in ensuring peace and security is not alone even. It is reinforced by all the security agencies. It is reinforced by the peace-loving Ugandans who are patriotic and who are the majority of the people of Uganda, young and old. Those who think that they are the ones who want to disrupt are very few, and therefore they cannot sustain it, I assure you. I would like to use this opportunity because those who want to disrupt our hard-won peace and stability, I repeat, our hard-won peace and stability in Uganda has been out of sacrifice. It has not just come like that. And it's not that it has not had challenges. No. There have been serious challenges step by step. Not just riots, but real wars, like was in the north, like was with the different groups whom we defeated. Very serious challenges. But because of the same method that we use, we have been able to ensure that. Now, I want to use this opportunity to give patriots, those who are old and who are young, to not be intimidated. You know, there is this, oh, we shall ban you if you dress like this, or if you support so and so. Nobody should intimidate you. Let no one intimidate you. And those, as I have said, are very few, and our security forces will defend this country against anybody who tries to disrupt and disturb our progress. How come? How come? Ugandans, I want to appeal to you. How come that refugees are coming from all the other countries to Uganda and not vice versa? How come? Why are you Ugandans not running out? If you want to try it out there, please go. But the trend has been that we have been receiving more refugees because of that hard-won peace and stability, which we must preserve. Some of these agents, I want to assure you, we have all evidence, and it is very clear. Even yesterday, as you can see on social media, as you can hear how they are communicating, most of these are agents of foreign forces who are interested in stabilizing African countries for their own interests, not Uganda's interests, not Africa's interests. Watch out, look out, and be able to choose and separate who is speaking for who. Now, for anybody who wants to be a leader in a country like Uganda, to wish Uganda to be like Libya, Iraq, other destabilized countries, really? Really? Are you admiring what has happened to those countries? What does that show? It shows that people are just speaking for other people's interests, not Uganda's interests. I want to assure you that what a shame for anybody who wants actually to be a leader to find that he can say something like that. What a shame, and how can it wish that Uganda breaks up? You know, somebody wishes, of course it's a wish. It's just a wish, and I want to assure you that, as I have said, the patriotic Ugandans and the security forces of Uganda will not be like Libya. Uganda will not be destabilized, and I am calling upon all of you that we are now going, now that they have come out, you know, when you want to deal with a boil, you let it first get ready. Now it has burst. You saw them walking naked. Have you seen that group on WhatsApp? Of a group of walking naked, and they were saying, look for that. It's a shame. Walking naked, undressing women and making them walk naked on our streets of Uganda, because you want to make Uganda look like destabilized countries. You are just wasting your time. So Ugandans, I want you to watch. because it is everyone has the freedom to watch and observe and analyze and see who are these people, because that is who they are. You know what? This is who they are. They have visibly now demonstrated openly who they are, that they are just people who want to disrupt, destabilize, burn the city, cause chaos, cause violence, cause death. This is who they are. Watch them, observe them, follow what they are saying, follow what they are advocating, and be able to choose then whom you are supporting. Is the one person you are supporting giving you a hope for a future, or the one who is saying we want violence? That is the only solution. That one is not preparing for your future. Now, I just want to say that all efforts by the negative media and negative sectarian tendencies and divisive groups will be defeated like before. You know, there are some who are even talking about how some people rule. Uganda is so integrated, I can assure you, those who are thinking of sectarianism, sijui one tribe against another. Now, how many tribes are in, if I use the Kyagulanyi? Honorable Kyagulanyi. I have on social media, they are saying, Banyankore, Banyarwanda, who is Mrs. Kyagulanyi? If you want to start now campaigning for such a thing, just use that as an example. Ugandans are so integrated. All those who have tried to use sectarianism before have failed. And whoever wants to use that method will fail. Because Ugandans know their interests more than the few who want to cause confusion, disruption. And that's why we need now to call more education. That see who is saying what and measure him and put him in a mizani and say, this one is not taking us anywhere. Everyone has a choice to support, but base your choice of who to support depending on our common interests. Because we have many common interests, all Ugandans, to defend, and we shall defend them. They have come together, young people. There's a group of young people, I want to assure you, young people wherever you are, a group of young people from all the parties and all the institutions have come together and started a movement called Violence Hapana. And they are appealing, they will be educating and reaching you. They have said our generation is not going to be disrupted by violence. And they have said, we have said Violence Hapana. Not soldiers, not what, but young people who have organized themselves. Now, those who have been trained, let me appeal. You heard that the police was giving this information, and we have got this information. Some people have already been trained for violence. As I have said, it is very dangerous for you. It's very dangerous for you. We would call upon you, please leave that training. That is training to put you in great danger. And look at those who are propagating those messages, and we shall expose them. Now, the security forces have been working very hard together. Our joint task force has prepared a good strategy for these elections. And it is to make sure that it is done in peace. But disruptions here and there will come. And I can tell you that we shall also be changing the tactics in accordance with each situation. We have had now the new tactics of platoons. It was very effective. 2 hours, the town was clean. Because it was direct on the culprits themselves. So, we are getting better organized, and I want you to remember very well what I have said, the question of discipline and organization, the question of choosing, and if you want to know who is best organized, because you underestimate the situation, you people. If there is anybody who is organized as the security forces, the security forces are not only organized, they are the most disciplined. We have invested so much in those two because we can act in a very short time than anybody else. Those who think they can cause a disruption, even if you take us by surprise like was on the 18th, when we organize, we shall put you in your place. And the clear message to the public, therefore, and especially to the wrong people who want to disrupt our hard-won peace and stability, is you will do it at a great risk to yourself and you will not succeed. We have had challenges before. We have handled them very carefully, consciously, and emerged victorious in defense of our common good of the people. I would like to ask, whom do you trust more? Really, whom can you trust more? The tested, proven stability providers of this country, or the violent hooliganism that is now emerging? Whom can you trust with your country? Because we've invested so much in assuring you for your peace. So this is the time for everyone to see who is proving fool. And in summary, just to finish, I have repeated and I want to repeat, there is no justification for violence because of the arrest of one person. And the security forces will ensure enforcement. That's the duty, constitutional duty, to ensure enforcement of the rules and guidelines of this country. And if you want to enjoy democracy and freedom or your human rights, you cannot enjoy them when there is chaos. You lose them once chaos sets in. And those who want to make Uganda ungovernable, because you know there are people are saying they want to make Uganda ungovernable so that they serve their foreign interests. Uganda is going to remain governable as has been in the past, and nobody will disrupt it. Because we have been preparing, we have better capacity than ever before, and we are going to mobilize even more. As I have said, all the young people who have this country, we are going to defend this country. Nobody will disrupt it. So take it from me. My ears I have heard, the observations I have seen of the transition where Uganda has come from can guarantee me that the course we have always taken has been the right course, because it is pro-people. It is not pro-violence, it is not pro-anti-people, it is not pro-foreign forces, it's pro-Ugandans and Africans. I thank you very much, and I don't know whether somebody summarize that in Luganda? Huh? I summarize. In summary, mu Luganda mbadde mbabuulira okusooka nga mbasa abantu buli omu asooke yeebuuze, asooke agambe munne nti emirembe gibeere ku ye, ku munno. Wish your neighbor peace wherever you are. Ate weebuuze, am I safe? Wendi walungi? Ate weebuuze ekyo, kiki ekikufuula kubeera safe wooli? It is because kubanga waliwo abakuumi b'eddembe abateebaka, abakola emisana n'ekiro nti obeere mu mirembe gy'oli. Neneebaza ne mbagamba nti eggwanga liringa famire. Omuntu mu famire omu bw'atandika okwetabatabula, abalina obuvunaanyizibwa ne beegezaako okumukakanya, mikwano gye ne badduka ne bagenda ebweru ne bakwata amayinja bakube ennyumba yendabirwamu amayinja. Okola ki? Kyokola oyita security ejje ekole ki? Ekuyambe. Ekyabaddewo ate security bwe yazze ng'ennaku ebbiri ezibaddewo, yakoze omulimu gwayo. Njagala okutwala omukisa guno kwebaza ebitongole bya security byonna ne bamwananchi ba Uganda abalungi abaagala ensi eno abali patriotic. Batuyambye nnyo, naddala jjo nga bagamba nti ono yabadde asuka mayanja, ono yabadde ayokya emipiira. Tekyavuddemu okuwulira nti kati babakute 5. Bannayuganda beewaddeyo ne babagamba nti ono y'ono, ate bajja kuboogera wena we muli. N'olwekyo mbeebaza abakoze omulimu ogwo, mugende mu maaso. Bannayuganda tebabatiisa, ababi be batono, abalungi be balungi, abaagala emirembe be basinga obungi. Abalimba nti be balina enamba esinga ya poliisi, si poliisi yokka. Poliisi erina amagye, poliisi erina ebitongole ebya security, erina bamwananchi abaagala emirembe bonna, n'abavubuka bavudde ne bagamba nti violence apaana tebagala okwonoona future yaabwe kubanga nze abavubuka mbagamba emirembe ebiseera byabwe mu maaso birimu abo beetegese bulungi ate balina empisa weekebere bw'owulira nti tolina mpisa teweetegese bulungi eby'omu maaso si birungi mbadde mbagamba nti bonna abagezaako okufuna emirembe mu ggwanga lino bafune demokrasi bafune ebyetaagisa bagende mu politics toyinza kubikola nga tewali emirembe yeesooka tolina ne bwaba farming ne bweba kyoyagala kukola kyonna olina okusooka kugikolera mu mirembe bwensi bwetabuka byonna bifa ate ne bitwonoonera okuzimba si kwangu naye okwonoona kwangu nnyo ate okuzimba obupya si kyangu kigumu nnyo okusinga ensi ezo wayonoonese okuzizaamu kijja kutwala ebbanga ddene okudda we zaali kijja kutwala evera ebbanga ddene mbadde mbagamba mu bimpimpi nti okukwata omuntu omu tekiyinza kujustifyinga tekiyinza kuleetawo kugamba nti abantu kabafe abantu kabalumizibwe etawuni ekyankalanye kubanga omuntu omu bamukutte okukwata omuntu kya bulijjo abaani abe presidential candidate abe member wa parliament abe mukulu w'ebyamadiini abe mulamuzi tiwaliwo alina immunity bagaana kumukwata ate si ono si yasoose mu Uganda n'ensi endala kasita weeteeka mu kiseera kyebakususpectinga nti oyonoonye omanya amateeka obeera suspect ne bakukwata n'olwekyo omuntu omu okumukwata tekijustifyinga oba justification what do you call it in Uganda tekiyinza kubeera musingi gw'oyimirirako nti twayekalakasiza oba twayonoonye ekibuga twayakubya abantu kubanga bakutya omu waliwo entegeko waliwo procedure omuntu bwe bamukwata oba mutwala mu kooti nga kati babagambye tebamututte mu kooti so ebyo byokukwata bigenda kutereera abaani kasita amenya amateeka ajja kukwatibwa now mbadde njogera ku abo abasasamaza ne bakyamula ne bagamba abantu mugende mulwane mutta abantu mbateme mwawulidde ebikwato poliisi byekutte bye babadde balwanyisa tukyanoonyereza n'abo abafudde ebyabasse kubanga n'amasasi abakubiddwa amasasi tetumanyi oba mu bano babadde balinayo nemu emundu oba zibadde za poliisi oba zaani kubanga bano babadde beetegese balina ebijambiya balina emipiira n'olwekyo balina amayinja n'ebisa ebirala nemodorto cocktail waliwo omukubo ndaba anyenya mutwe wali yeewakana ndowooza mukubo naye babikutte obujulizi weebuli ate mwamulabye ow'ekijambiya poliisi weyakutte wamulabye oba tewamulabye so mbagambye yenna abo abagenda mu kwekalaka mu violence ejja kubaddira okungula kyosiga kyokola ki bw'osiga violence ekuddawo n'olwekyo basaba mugume bannayuganda mugume waliwo abatiisatiisa waliwo omuntu alina olukusa kutiisa banne tugenda kubakola ki no the forces eziriwo if you want to know the balance of forces the security forces backed supported as always nga balina obuwagizi bwa mwanayinki bamwanayinki abasinga baagala emirembe wona we bali mu butale wona we bali mu maduuka wona we bali ku nguuto bwe batambula tebaagala ekibanyiiza tebaagala ekibayimiriza mu kkubo tebaagala abababba nga babadde babba jjona n'okubatulugumya baagala mirembe bagenda kugirwanako mbabuulira nti ab'amawulire abasaasaanya okutta ensi n'okugitabula ne waabo n'abo abakulembeze abagamba Uganda nti ebenga Libya nange omuntu ayagala obukulembeze ayagala ensi ye etabanguke kweri musooke mugende Libya mulabe ekiriyo eyali entereevu nnyo mu Africa mugende Iraq mulabe ekiriyo oba wonna we baali bagamba Uganda tejja kuba ng'ezo nsi kubanga tumaze ebiseera nga tuzimba emirembe y'awano n'obutebenkevu at a high cost ku muwendo omunene nnyo ate sacrifice kwewaayo kw'amaanyi ate sirwa kubanga tewabaddewo ebizibu ebituchallenging oba ebadde byangu no wabaddewo entalo eyakonyerwa lutalo lw'amaanyi si kwekalakasa kwa mutawuni wano Kampala naye twaziwangula kubanga tugenda mpola tumanyi kye tukola ate tukikola mu musingi gumu wa bulungi bwa buli omu bana abatono kubanga abasinga obungi be bantu abalungi bana abatono bagala kwonoona emirembe abo tujja kubawangula mangu nnyo ate mwawulire n'abala n'amanya tugayina na byonna bibakola tubimanyi naye kati ekizimba kya what do you call bust kyabise kati tulina time munungi asajjale y'ekizimba kubanga kikoze eki mukawulidde ako banyankole bagamba nti kabi kulalabamu oluusi kabi kiba kirungi kabi neeyitamu bweyitamu otereeza ekibadde ekibi n'okola ki tugenda kutereeza kati security forces zibadde zeetegeka zikolera wamu zina strategy mu byokulonda kuno zina strategy ne tactics ez'okukozesa okulaba nti buli kiseera buli kijja kyonna bwekiba kyetagisa okukyusa tactics nga wawadde tuvudde ku tiyagasika tugenze ku batuuni kigenda kubanga bikola if it is changing tactics we shall change them naye nga tulabye nti bana Uganda bakola bali mu mirembe kyensembayo mbadde mbagamba nti mujjukire bye mbabuulidde mulina okwenoonyeza choice gye mutunda kubanga bano twagala mubalabe beeraze bokka beebo bwe bali batambira emisana nga bali bwereere bakuba abantu nga tebawula bokyala tawuni walakya ebibuga nawona we bali babba beebo nti be baagala obukulembeze beebo singa mujjukira nti NRA ekyagiwanguza tekwali kutta abantu kwali disipulini mu bantu kati eyo disipulini mugirabye eyo abakulembeze bemwagala nti abo bebaagala obukulembeze baabo mubalabe bannayuganda mubategeere baabo bavuddeyo nibeeraga kyebali n'olwekyo mukole ekyetaagisa bwemba munoonya gwe muwagira aleeta suubi mu maaso oba agamba tubeere nga Libya oba ayagala kwonoona akalulu ke kasalamu oba oyagala kukyusa box naye bwagamba nti nja kukozesa violence bwembagamba nti sisi adui akija sisi tuko nini sisi tuko tayari ensembayo tewaliwo justification yonna okugamba nti mwekalakase kubanga bakutte omuntu omu mubeere well organized ebitongole ebya security ebirisinga okubeera organized buli kiseera tubatwala ku parade kuliya kushoto tutunule wamu and they are the most disciplined because tubadde tuinvestinzemu kintu kinene olw'obulungi bw'eggwanga lyaffe for God and my country bannayuganda muwumule Uganda eri mirembe mu bitundu byonna koona zonna za Uganda ziri mirembe kanake Kampala kaali ka surprise ate nga bakategese nga bakapulaninze nga bakunganya ebipiira nga balina n'emmotoka ezidistributinga nga bakunganya ebijambiya tukyanoonyereza abafudde oba bayalumizibwa ayabaseyaani bafudde ki so eno campaign naddala yabanga bamawulire kubanga babagula bawasasula to serve the foreign interests kubanga watandise kino police brutality bwe bagenza okunoonyereza mu nsi zonna the most friendly police in the world is Uganda kubanga ebadde bakwata mpola naye omunaagongera kugiprovokinga ejja kubakwata nga poliisi endala bwe zikwata nokwata ku jaketi ya poliisi anywhere oba oyeteese mu kisaawe ng'ogenze mu boxing ring bwe bakuba nnyo togamba nti bankubye nnyo ekizibu ba innocent Ugandans Saalumanya abo kati be tugenda kulaba nti we avoid ba Saalumanya okugenderamu we target the real culprits and we know them nolwekyo mulinde mulabe tubabuulira bulijjo ne mugamba ne mucyakalana ne tubagamba bano ne mwogera ebyammwe ne tubaddiramu naye there is a proven record of defending the people of Uganda by our security forces. Katonda abakuume abavubuka abato temwonoona future yamwe. This is the time eno kyo ekiseera mwe mulina okubeera organized and disciplined. This is the time. Uganda wetuuse is a take off point. Kino kyekiseera mwe tulina okukola okuwana mukufuata bubi okuwana tekitegeeza kasuka mayinja ku poliisi oba kwasa bintu byabalala no oba lwana lutalo olw'oluprinciple nolw'okudifendinga bannayuganda olekawo emirembe gyaffe tujja kuludifendinga kati ne mu maaso. Katonda abakuume.
As you can see, the situation